All right, welcome everyone here to our masterclass. My name is Heather Choate. I am the co-owner and co-founder of High Thrive Coaching. I'm grateful and honored that you guys are here today. I've been visiting with some of you over here in the chat as we're doing this live and seeing where you are from in this beautiful world. And I recognize that it says something really special about you that you are joining me here today. It says something special about you that you're willing to look at your life, look at your marriage, and see what you can do about the situation that you might be in. Most people tend to just be victims to circumstances, but you guys are here because you want to know, is it possible to save my marriage? What can I do at this point? How can I learn how to have a healthy relationship? And so I'm grateful and honored to be here with you because you are amazing. So thank you for taking time for this precious part of your life that is so important. My intention is that you come away with solutions. And one thing that I found after working, we've now helped over 15,000 couples now save their marriage. And what I found is that when you decide where you want to go and you make a commitment to say, I'm going to get to this kind of a place, I'm going to have this kind of relationship, I'm going to have this kind of marriage, I decide that that's what I want. When you make that kind of a commitment, then the way to get there always makes itself manifest. And so I know that as you lean into that part of you that's saying, I want to know, I gave my marriage everything I could, I want to know that I can live my life with no regrets, that the way will show up for you. And so my intention is to give you the very best that we have after helping so many couples to save their marriage, to show you it actually works. And this is very, very different than traditional therapy. It's very different than trying to work on yourself. It's very different than other methods out there. And it works. And I'm going to show you why here in a little bit. I want to make this a dialogue, not just a monologue. So please use the chat and weigh in on the polls, do the exercises with me, use the chat to let me know any questions that you have, any breakthrough moments or aha moments that you have. Put those over in the chat and we will address every single thing over in the chat. In fact, I have Coach Curtis is coming on here in a little bit as well, and he will be helping me with the chat to make sure we get all of your questions answered. All right, awesome. Let's dive in. So 4 steps to save your marriage. I'm going to start with an exercise. So you should see this poll here. I want to know, what is your situation? Who is this for? What is your primary problem? Are you couple A, divorce filed? Maybe your spouse already has a lawyer. They've already filed for divorce. Maybe papers are already being worked on, or maybe they're just threatening divorce or separation. And you want to know what you can do to cancel that divorce and stop the divorce separation process and get back with you forever. Are you couple B? No trust or affairs. Maybe there are lots of trust issues going on between you right now. Maybe they've had an affair or multiple affairs, or you've had an affair or multiple affairs, or there's just other trust issues. And maybe you don't believe what they say or do, or they don't believe what you say or do. Or couple C, communication, no communication, poor communication, ineffective communication. So maybe you can't talk without arguing. There's a lot of tension going on. Maybe your spouse doesn't believe what you say and they don't open up, and you are in a situation where they're avoiding the deeper kind of communication. So let me know over on the poll, weigh in on your answers of which one is the most like you. So maybe you guys are saying all of them, A, B, and C. I get it. Just pick whatever one you feel like is the primary problem, the biggest situation that you're dealing with right now. Thanks, Shelly. I see your answer over there in the chat. Awesome. All right, I'm going to end the poll and let's see how we did. All right, so this helps me know where you guys are at and what your biggest challenges are, so we can go deeper into that today. So we've got 33% say divorce filed or talks of divorce, 28% no trust affairs, and 39% communication. Awesome. All right, thank you guys. We'll go deeper into those things for sure. I'm going to stop sharing that. Awesome. So because so many of you guys talked about communication being a challenge, I want to give you guys a gift. Again, as a thank you for coming today and honoring you guys for coming. And this is our 7 proven conversation starters. This is a $47 training that we usually give our premium clients, and I want to gift it to you guys as a thank you for coming. Just as a little bit of an insider secret here, we talk to hundreds and hundreds of couples every single day about their marriage, and every single week. And those that come to the masterclass tend to get the best results. And I like to reward action takers. So you guys are here, you're taking action, and I like to reward that. So if you want this free guide, just go ahead and fill out this quick form that we're going to put over in the chat. So my team member Diego here just sent it to everyone over in the chat. You'll see it's just a Google form. Go ahead and fill that out, and we will email or text it to you, whatever you prefer, right after the masterclass. And why is this guide so helpful? All right, well, I personally have been married almost 17 years with my husband, Ben, and we have 8 children together. And when my marriage has struggled, communication is almost always the first thing that goes out the window. It's so easy to misunderstand each other and to get into the blame game, to get into defensiveness, to build up the tension. I tend to be the one that pursues. Raise your hand if you guys are like me. You're the one that's like pursuing after your spouse and trying to get them to open up and trying to get them to resolve things. And my husband tends to be the one that withdraws. He puts up the walls. He does the silent treatment thing, the stonewalling barriers. Yeah, raise your hand if that sounds familiar. We have this like pursuer avoider kind of dynamic, right? And so I found that when my husband withdraws and doesn't want to talk to me, doesn't want to open up with me, and I don't want to just get the one word answer, right? Like, how are you doing? Fine, right? Do you want to talk? No, right? So if you don't want to keep getting those one word answers, this guide really helps to open up more conversation and help them feel safe enough to talk with you. So very powerful. Hope you guys love it. Go ahead and fill out that quick form. Hope you're doing it right now. It's over in the chat. Grab that and we will send it to you right after the masterclass. Again, our gift to you. All right, awesome. Yeah, go ahead, Brandon, and fill out that quick form there. And that's how you can get it. All right, so you don't see the form on your side. It should be sent to everyone in the chat. So Diego can help you with that. If you guys can't see it either, let us know. All right, so if you don't see the chat, if you're on mobile, you just got to kind of scroll up and it will show you the chat option. If you're on desktop, then you just open the little chat box and you should see the link right there. All right, now I want to ask yourself these questions. First question, and weigh in on the chat. Let me know what your answers are, okay? Where do I want my marriage to be 3 months from now? Where do I want my marriage to be 3 months from now? Do you want your spouse to be able to talk to you again, to want to talk with you again, to want to spend time with you, to end the divorce process, to end the separation, to come back home? Would you love for them to leave their affair partner? Would you love for you guys to be able to talk about issues again and actually feel like you're committed to each other? Would you love for your family to feel whole and complete again? Would you love for your children to have their father or their mother back in the home again and feeling safe and secure? Where would you really love your marriage to be 3 months from now? Oftentimes we see wedding rings being put back on. We see couples renewing marriage vows. We see both parties are now willing to talk to each other and willing and wanting to work on the relationship together. So I want you guys to decide where you really want to go. And 2, how will it feel to have your spouse in love with you again? How would that really feel? What would that look like? What kind of conversations would you have with your spouse? How would you wake up in the morning? What would the feeling be inside of you? How would you be able to go to sleep at night? Would you be able to focus at work now instead of obsessing about this and checking your phone constantly and wondering if they're going to text you, right? So let me know in the chat where you guys want to be. All right, end separation, open communication. Awesome. So what would that look like? If you have open communication, what are the things that you're talking about now? And how does that feel for you both to feel safe, for you both to feel heard, to feel respected, and for you both wanting more in this relationship rather than less, right? 3 months from now, her affair gone and us working on our marriage. So how good would that feel to have trust, to feel secure, to know that she's committed to you and that you're healing the root issues that caused us to show up in the first place, right? End separation. Awesome. I see another one. End separation, and can talk about everything and move on from our past and start over. Beautiful. End separation, enjoy retirement together. Awesome. How many years have you been married? Love to know. End separation. Well, lots of end separations, and come back home. It would feel amazing if she would open up and share what she's thinking and feeling. It would feel amazing, wouldn't it? Wow, there's another end separation and start over. And the gentleman that said that they want to enjoy retirement have been married for 41 years. That is a very long time. I'm here at 17, so that's awesome. And we helped a client just the other day that had been married almost 50, and they were about to get divorced in their golden years, right? And so it can work no matter where you are at. If you've been married 3 years or 30 years or 50 years, whether you're 30 years old or 70 or 80 years old. It would feel amazing, would not take things for granted again. Beautiful. Love that. So you guys, you just made a powerful decision here. Most people do not decide where they want to go in their life. Most people just let life happen to them. And we all know that when life happens to us, it has a tendency to just rip us to shreds, right? We're like a ship out on the ocean with no rudder and no sail, and life just rips us apart. But when you decide where you want to go and you commit to get there, then you will get there. Like I said at the beginning, my intention is to show you that when you decide where you want to go, then the way always makes itself manifested. And if this is hard for you, if you're like, I don't really know where I want to go, then you need to take some time to figure that out, because that is it. That is a decision that only you can make. No one can make that for you. Right now, it may feel like your spouse is calling all the shots, like they hold all the cards, right? And I get that. I know what that feeling is like. Feels like, oh, they have all the power here. But it's not true. You need to empower yourself and decide where you want to go, because your spouse, they're not going to make that decision for you. And if you let them, it's not going to be the one that you want, right? You already know where they're at. You can't have your mom make the decision for you, as much as she loves you and probably wants to do that for you. You have to decide. Only you get to decide where you want to go. So when you decide where you want to go, then we will help you get there. And that is the most important decision that you can make at this point. And the good news is it's entirely in your own hands. Awesome. So our big discovery is that, like I said, we've helped now over 15,000 couples save their marriage from divorce. And we found one little thing that's a big reason why marriages are ending in divorce. I say it's something insane because literally no one else is even talking about this, because they don't even know about it. You know, 15,000 marriages saved would be an astounding number for like your average therapist, right? Or an astounding number for most other programs and methods out there. But for us, it's just every day. We do this every single day. We're with our clients every single day, guiding them through these 4 steps so that they get to their happy ever after. All right, I'm going to share it with you guys. So what are the 4 steps? Step number 1 is having your spouse hit the pause button. Step 2 is that they start to take some steps towards you. They actually want to be with you. Step 3 is all about building deeper levels of connection. And then step 4 is commitment. Now, my friends, I'm going to share with you some common mistakes most people are making. In fact, I've made all of them, and I want to make sure that you do not make them yourself. So we're going to go through these systematically, and note that commitment is at the very end. All right, I got a daughter here on my balcony wanting something. So I'm going to keep going and let her know that, like I mentioned, I have 8 kids, and yes, of course I work from home. So step number 1, spouse hitting the pause button. When your spouse hits the pause button, this means that they stop pulling away more from you and they start moving to you. So they stop moving closer towards divorce or another person, and they start moving closer to you. How good would that feel? Oh, the screen isn't sharing? You guys can't see my screen? Can you see the screen now? All right, let me know. You can see it, Diego says. Awesome. You can see it before you can see it. Okay, cool. This is live, it happens, but yeah, everything looks good on my end. So, all right, so how do you know, my friends, if your spouse has hit the pause button? For some of you, your spouse may already be here. And for some of you, you may not have gotten here yet, okay? So you'll know that they hit what we call the pause button if they are no longer actively pulling away more. They stop going forward with divorce or separation, and they stop talking about leaving, okay? So let me know in the chat, do you think your spouse has hit the pause button? Are they considering the possibility of staying and being happy with you? Now note, they are not decided yet. It simply means that they've hit this pause button. So they're not going forward and they're not going closer to you. They're just pausing where they're at, okay? All right, I'm hearing no, still separated, not talking to me, no worries. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you think your spouse has. All right, awesome, thank you, Janine. Yes, he has. He's frozen and won't even have a conversation, but he's not packing. Okay, so you're in this place of a bit of a limbo, right? Still separated, we talk daily, but divorce is about a year though. Wait, I'm sorry, I mixed two up. But still talks about the affair. Okay, still separated, hasn't mentioned divorce in about a year though. Okay, yes, pause. Okay, awesome. Thank you guys for sharing. So if your spouse has not hit the pause button, it means you just simply missed something along the way, okay? And so the good news is that you can learn what it is. And most people miss this too. And it's why they don't save their marriage from divorce. Again, the good news is you can learn how to have your spouse hit this pause button with this proven process, okay? And I just want you guys to give yourself some grace right now, because if your marriage is on its last leg, if you are on your last leg of hope right now, if you feel like, I don't even know if it's possible to turn this around right now, I don't even know how it got this bad, I don't even know how he or she felt this way about me for so long, and I didn't even know it, I don't even know what to do here, you're not alone. And I want you to give yourself some grace, because it's not your fault. Our society, our culture has not taught couples how to have a successful, healthy relationship. If they did, then there wouldn't be 60% of couples now getting divorced and 92% of couples saying that they're unhappy in their marriage, even of those that stay together. So obviously something's missing, and it's not your fault that you've missed it. But the good news is that now you can learn what it is and how to have it, and anyone can do it, right? 15,000 couples just like you have learned how to do it, and you can too. So one of the biggest mistakes most people make is pushing for their spouse's commitment, their full commitment, too soon, and putting too much pressure on the relationship. Remember, commitment is important, but it is the very last piece of this process. So I'm going to share with you what we call our push versus pull method. And here are some common mistakes most people make. In other words, pushing your spouse, okay? And again, I'll be the first to raise my hand and say I've made every single one of these, and you may have made them too. So let me know in the chat if this has been a breakthrough or an aha moment for you. I also want to welcome Coach Curtis has just joined us now. And so he will be helping you guys over in the chat and answering any questions that you guys have. So hello, Curtis. Everyone say hi, Curtis. He will be helping you guys over there. I just made you panelist. All right. So what are some of these common mistakes of pushing? Demanding that our spouse work on the marriage with us. How many people have done that? You need to do this. You need to end the affair. You need to work on it with me. You need to go to counseling with me, right? We do this. We demand that they work on the marriage with us. What about manipulating them to try to get them back? This could be more passive aggressive, or it could be a little more blatant. You know, my friends, I said, I talked to hundreds of couples just like you guys, and right here in the masterclass, Facebook, on YouTube, right? Every week. And sometimes I see things like, well, I'm going to take the kids if you do that, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, or I'm going to go have an affair. I'm going to sleep with whoever I want if you do that, right? And we try to do these things to make them want to come back to us. But does it work? No, it never works, right? And then the most common one that I see is begging, pleading, acting out of desperation. Please don't go. Please come back to me. Please give me another chance. Please, please, please. I'm begging you, give me another chance, right? Raise your hand if you guys have done any of these. Which one do you feel like you have done the most? Yeah, I can see some hands raised here. She's still about, I need to work on myself and relationship. Yeah, begging. Exactly. Revert back to the way that I want and the way that I am. Yeah, done all of them. Exactly. And freezing out of fear. Sometimes we don't know what to do, so we just freeze and we do nothing because we're not sure what to do. And all of these things lead to our spouse being pushed further away from us because it does not feel safe and they do not feel heard right now. Okay. Yeah. All of them, done all of them, currently in freeze mode. Exactly. So what we want to do instead of pushing our spouse out of fear and desperation, is we help our clients learn how to process through those emotions and draw their spouse to them like a magnet with the pull method. So what we do here is we help you learn how to take the pressure off so they no longer feel the need to have more space from you or have separation from you or move closer to their affair partner or closer to divorce. When we take the pressure off, we create space so that they feel safe enough to hit the pause button, okay? We're going to validate them. Now, what do I mean by that? I'm not saying that you're going to agree with what they're doing or say it's the right thing. What we're doing here is we're showing that we understand where they're coming from. And we say that I see for you, this is true. I see that for you, you feel happier with this other person. I see that for you, you feel like you're done. I see that that's true for you. And when we just acknowledge that that is where they are at, that immediately lowers their self-defense mechanisms. It immediately builds a bridge of connection between you. All right. Awesome. And I see some of you talking to Coach Curtis over there. Yeah, he says, if you'd like a free marriage analysis call after the masterclass, then leave your name and phone number in the chat, and I'll message you right after the masterclass. So you guys can talk to Coach Curtis directly after the masterclass, and that's a totally free marriage assessment that's incredibly powerful. We'll talk about that a little bit more too. So you can put your number over in the chat and he will reach out to you. The last thing that we do here in push versus pull is increase understanding, helping them feel heard and feel safe so they no longer pull further away. And what all of this does is really pattern interrupt. Right now, you guys are in a pattern of getting defensive, a pattern of pulling away, a pattern of blowing up, a pattern of blaming, a pattern of demanding, a pattern of just tension and fear, a pattern of anger and aggression. Whatever your pattern is, you've been in it for a good while. Agreed? Right? Someone said they've been married 41 years here, right? That's a long time to have a lot of patterns. But even those that have been married only for a few years, you can have some really strong dominant patterns going on. And if you keep doing the same things, what's going to happen? Right? You're going to keep getting the same results. That's the definition of insanity, right? Is we think that we're going to keep doing the same thing and somehow get a different result. It's not going to happen. What we want to do is interrupt the pattern that you're in right now. And that is what we do as your coaches, is we help identify, oh, you're in a pattern of communicating like this. Let's interrupt that pattern. And what happens is when you interrupt the pattern, it's going to get your wife's or your husband's attention. It's going to get them to hit that pause button like, whoa, something's different here, so that they can then consider the possibility of staying and being happy with you again. So how do we do this? All right. Most people feel so overwhelmed, so unsure, so full of pain and fear that they totally get this wrong. And when they try to do it on their own and other ineffective methods out there. So it's not your fault that you haven't been able to do it on your own. And I really want you to get this. It's really not your fault. most people do not have a healthy, successful marriage. And so the good news is you can learn how to do it. Now, why is it not your fault that you haven't been able to do it on your own? Let me explain. There's actually a biological reason behind this. What happens is that during and after a fight or a breakup, or your spouse leaving or threatening divorce or saying, I love you, but I'm not in love with you, or maybe finding out that they're having an affair, any of these situations in a relationship, there is a heightened emotional state where your body responds to the rejection and tension as if it were an actual physical trauma or a threat. Your brain goes into stress mode and it pumps out cortisol, epinephrine, and other stress hormones. Your body and brain were designed to do this biologically, right? To protect us from dangerous situations. Just like back in the day when we were on the savannah and we had to worry about a lion. Now, there's no lion in this case, but even though there's not a physical danger, your body actually doesn't know the difference. And what happens is this process clouds our thinking and causes us to react out of instinct. So we do not make logical decisions. And emotionally, we cannot help but get into fear. The reasoning part of our brain is literally like turned off, and all the blood flow goes to the limbic system, the fight, flight, or freeze mode. And so we do not act as our higher selves. We do not act from a reasoning, logical part of ourselves. We become very animalistic and react out of instinct. This can lead to intense emotional distress, right? We've all felt this, and even physical pain. Where do you feel it in your body right now? Is it like being stabbed through the heart? Does it feel like weight on your shoulders? Can you hardly breathe? Is it a knot of anxiety in your stomach and you are like constantly stressed out and you can't even digest your food because everything's so tight? Does it feel like burdens and rocks just sitting on top of you? Does it feel like tension and pinching in your mind and you can't even sleep, right? Right. So my friend, it's not your fault that you can't do it on your own. There's a biological reason of why your body is going into this fight, flight, or freeze mode. So if you rely on your own instincts right now, there's no way you can expect to be in a clear-headed way to draw them back to you. And that is why most people fail to ever salvage their marriage, and more couples end up getting divorced. The good news is you do not have to do it alone and risk losing them forever. The good news is that we've created this scientifically proven 4-step process that's going to take you from point A, where you guys are right now. You guys talked about divorce filed, affairs, no communication, won't talk to you. Yeah, you've got this pain in your chest and not in your stomach. You cannot sleep, eat, and process stuff. Exactly. This is no way to live, right? It is consuming. And this is where you're at right now, where you feel broken, you feel unhappy, you feel distant from each other, to point B, where you guys said you want to be 3 months, 6 months, a year from now, back together with your spouse, crazy in love and more than ever before. We don't want to just restore the relationship the way that it was. We want to create a relationship that's better than ever, so that these same painful cycles don't keep happening. So you'll learn how to stop unintentionally pushing them away and learn how to pull them back to you naturally and effortlessly. So that is why it is so important to have guidance from an expert, so you know what's going to work and what will not. And you do not have to rely on your own instincts that are always going to fail us in that moment, okay? One of my favorite sayings is that you cannot read the label when you're inside the bottle. We are all inside the bottle of our own marriage, and we cannot read the label. I'm inside the bottle of my own marriage. I cannot read the label because we're too close to it. So we cannot see it from the outside perspective. And that is why it is so crucial and so important to have someone from the outside who knows how to read the bottle, how to diagnose what's really going on, and prescribe the exact treatment plan to get you to the result you want. And that is what we help you do every single day. We know how to read the label on your bottle, how to diagnose what's actually going on and how to prescribe the exact treatment plan to get you where you want to be. And like I said, we've helped over 15,000 couples now get there. So do you guys want your marriage assessed by an expert where we can read the label on your bottle, understand what's actually going on in your marriage, and the exact treatment plan that's going to help you get where you guys want to be? Let me know in the chat. Do you guys want that? Awesome. Then make sure you talk to Coach Curtis. And again, he will give you guys that free marriage assessment that's going to really help you understand what's going on and what your next best steps are. Awesome. Molly says definitely. Yes, absolutely, Brandon. Awesome. So put your number over in the chat. Again, only my team and I are going to see your number there. It's totally private. No one else can see the chat. And we will reach out to you directly after the masterclass for that marriage assessment. Now, after your marriage is assessed, and you know, and I know what is going on inside your marriage. We've read the label on your bottle. We have diagnosed exactly what the situation is. And now we've prescribed the treatment plan. It's vital that you follow that treatment plan. And we help you do that with all of these different 4 steps, guiding you every step along the way to ensure that you get there. And you need to hit all 4 reconciliation markers. And without all 4, your marriage won't be saved. So, client win here. Heather, my wife served me a separation agreement a month ago, and I've been looking it over and making little edits and comments so we can go over it together first. This morning, she tells me she doesn't want me to sign it. She said, let's wait and see what happens. We can always make a new one later on if we have to. She hasn't said she wants back in, but this feels really good. I've actually been doing less, and I thought it was giving up. Thank you and Marc for founding High Thrive and making this information and support available. My friends, did his wife hit the pause button? You guys are smart, right? You're my A+ students here. Did she hit the pause button? Yes. Is she saying, I want to get back together completely? No. And that's perfect for now. It's exactly where we want this client to be and where we want you to be if your spouse hasn't hit the pause button. It's step by step. It's process by process. It's climbing a little bit at a time to get to the top of the mountain peak. What most people do is they ask their spouse for commitment too soon and it backfires. What we do is make small bids for commitment and help you know what bids your spouse is actually going to respond positively to at this point so that they do not keep backfiring and you do not rely on your instincts that are only going to push them further away. All right. So this is huge that a month ago, they're talking about separation. And now she's saying, let's wait. Let's see what happens. And note, he said, I've actually been doing less. Why? Because most people are exhausting themselves doing all these things they think are going to work and they absolutely do not work. And it is about doing less of what doesn't work and about doing just a few things that are ultra effective that absolutely do work. It's not giving up, right? It is actually what it's going to take to get you there. All right, beautiful. So step 2 here is your spouse takes some steps towards you. Here, they want to spend more time with you as they are attracted to you again. They are actually going to want to spend more time with you and want to be with you. And they will be chasing after you. How different will that feel from where you are right now? So let me know in the chat, is your spouse wanting to spend time with you? Maybe some of you are here at step 2. Maybe some of you are not. So if not, it means you haven't reached this milestone yet. Yeah, exactly. I see you guys weighing in the chat. It means you simply lost that spark. You let unhealthy patterns and issues get in the way. And that's why they said they needed space or separation or divorce, or they started to pull away or wanted out. That's what it really means when they're saying, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. It means they've lost their desire for you. And this is, again, why desire is actually more powerful than love. You can get that back. You can get their desire back. You can get that spark of attraction and them wanting you, chasing after you, saying, I am so sorry that I did this. I'm so sorry I ever wanted out. I don't know what I was thinking. I was crazy. And it's easier that you might realize when you do it the right way. Instead of letting your fear repel their desire for you even more. So the biggest mistake you can make right now is trying to resolve deep issues between you when you don't have their desire. It's like trying to drag a camel to water, right? You can kick, you can scream, you can bribe, you can threaten, you can remind them of your vows, you can send them pictures of your happy marriage days, you can demand that they work on things, all of these things, and try to convince them all you want. But if that camel isn't thirsty, it is not going to drink. All right. So what have you already done to try and solve this issue? Let me know in the chat. And why do you think it hasn't worked? Have you tried counseling? Have you tried therapy? Have you tried working on yourself? Have you tried talking to friends and parents and coworkers and talking to everyone that you can possibly get advice from? What have you guys already done to try to solve this? And why do you think it hasn't worked? Catching up on the comments here. Working on myself, talking to friends. She refuses counseling. Exactly. So all of these things, tons of other therapists, coaching, books, courses, so many things, right? Exhausting yourself, trying to do all these things and nothing is working. Everything you mentioned. At first I begged, said I didn't realize something about myself. I left and gave him space, everything I should not have done, tried counseling, but he quit. All right. So why do you guys think those things haven't worked? If you and your spouse are not blissfully in love, it means you've missed something along the way. And again, that's not your fault. And the good news is you can learn. You are missing their desire. Their desire will make all the rest unfold exactly as it's meant to. And we literally coach our clients word for word on what to say to reignite that spark of desire again. I'm not just talking about sexual desire, although that's a part of it. That is usually the last piece that's going to come into play. I'm talking about a desire to talk with you, a desire to be around you, a desire to spend more time with you, to feel safe, to open up, to be vulnerable again. And as you guys are more and more vulnerable again with each other, that builds deeper levels of intimacy and connection. You know, we show you guys how to text them, how to have the in-person conversations so that your efforts don't keep backfiring, how to stop unintentionally pushing your spouse further away. We show you exactly what to do to have your spouse naturally feel attraction for you again. So now your spouse has hit the pause button. Just future pace this with me if they haven't yet, but we will help get you there. Your spouse has hit the pause button. Now we're going to show you how to flip that emotional switch so they desire to be with you again and they start taking steps towards you. Biggest win yet, client shared here. After 2 months and I was doing everything wrong until I started the program and I changed my whole outlook and my stubborn ways. It was heartbreaking to hear she was moving into her own townhouse last week, but it simply turned into her missing me and reaching out. I'm changing his language just slightly for the grammar. We talked here and there, but yesterday she called me out of the blue and we had a great talk. Even better today. And tonight she dropped hints more than a little that she wants to get back together. And so this is her taking some steps towards him, missing him. She is reaching out to him, wanting to be with him, having great talks and dropping hints that she wants to get back together. That is the difference. And that is what we help you with so that you are no longer the one chasing after your spouse and feeling like you're the only one that seems to care about this marriage. They will be chasing after you and wanting to be with you as we help you ignite that spark of desire. Then that brings us to step 3, which is about connection. Here, they feel safe and close to you. And the fun part to me is they often invent excuses just to be around you. For example, I mentioned a client that's in her 80s. Her husband now is like, they were separated. He was living in a camper trailer on their land, but separated in the house. And he just started like coming around the house more, helping out with household stuff, like helping fix things that he hadn't done for years, just to be around her, helping her with laundry. She was like, in our like 50 years of marriage, he's never helped me with laundry. And now he wants to. And she's like, it's really weird, but I like it. but it's weird, but I actually really like it. And so this is what we often see here at step 3. Here is where most people, though, tend to make a big mistake. And I want to make sure you don't make it as well. They either get stuck in the friends stage. You want to be around each other. They want to invent excuses to be around you, or push too hard too soon for the final piece of commitment, which will backfire even at this stage. So we have identified that there are 12 tests that your spouse puts you through, quote unquote tests, right? Before they finally give their heart to you. And they let go of that old story or belief about you, that they can't be happy, that you won't change, that they can't trust you. And so we will help you pass all of those. So they no longer see you in the way that they do right now. They've overcome that story or that narrative that they have about you. We will coach you on how to wipe the slate clean by completely changing their perception about you, no matter how long held their beliefs were about you or how many mistakes you made. So you both forget about the past and can see each other with fresh eyes. Who here would love it if their spouse would see them with some fresh eyes, see you for who you really are, that you can be yourself and be loved and accepted by them for who you really are? Do you guys want to hear how we helped our client Leah end her husband's affair and restored trust? Woo, I'm hitting my computer. And restored trust between them. You guys want to hear that? Raise your hand. All right, awesome. Let me share this with you. Let me know if you can hear the audio. No sound. Okay. Darn it. I thought I fixed that video. Yeah. Share system sounds. I'll have to figure it out, Jacob. Bummer. Well, all right. Leah's story is incredible. And if you want to see it, you can, let me see if I can pull it up real quick on I have it here on YouTube. See if you can hear this one. Any audio with that one? Yes, no. Dang it. It must be something in my Zoom settings. That makes me sad. All right. Well, if you want to hear any of our client stories, go ahead and check out our High Thrive Coaching YouTube channel or our podcast. And you guys can hear all of that from our clients in their own words of how they had their spouse end the affair, to end separation, to end divorce, and want to take some steps towards them and change their story about them so that they really see you with fresh eyes. That's what our clients have done, and you can get there too. All right, let's go on to step 4, which is the last piece. And I know this is the piece that you want the most, but it is the last piece for a reason. This is commitment. Here is where they're going to give you their heart fully again. Commit to you fully. Commit to your family and your children and your marriage and your vows fully. All right. And this is the last piece of the entire process. So I want you to imagine how amazing you will feel to know exactly what to do to have them come running after you and begging to be with you. All right. How do I skip this video? There we go. I want you to imagine what a relief it will be to have a step-by-step plan that takes all the guesswork out of it and the mistakes that you will suffer if you try to do it alone. No more crying, overanalyzing, no more ruminating, worrying, stressing, beating yourself up, losing sleep, begging them, and crying even more. All right? Just the sweet, easy feeling of peace, knowing that you have now rekindled the romance between you, and you get to spend the rest of your lives together in security, ease, and passion, just you and them together forever. I love seeing this happen with our clients. It is what brings me so much joy and is why I'm so passionate about helping you guys get there. So I want to know, what is it worth to you? What is it worth to you to have that kind of relationship and to get to that level of love and connection and acceptance and bliss. So on a scale of 1 to 100, let me know in the chat, how important is saving your marriage to you? How important is it for you to have a beautiful, healthy relationship? And you are deserving and you are worthy. And if there's anything else in your mind that's coming up saying you're not, it's a lie. You've been bought and sold a lie, and it's time to uncover the truth of who you really are, because we are all deserving of love. We are all good enough. We are all worthy. We are all flawed. We are all imperfect, but we all deserve compassion, grace, forgiveness, connection, happiness, romance, passion, unity, security, trust, and intimacy. 1,000%. I want a better marriage than we've ever had. 99 after 2 failed marriages. I appreciate honesty there. 1,000%, 100%, 100% awesome. Thank you guys. So this is important to you. In just a moment, I'm going to tell you guys how you can get access to these 4 steps in our path coaching to get them running after you. And it's a brand new program and method that we've never shared before. We're constantly evolving. We're constantly improving here. Before I do that, though, I want to ask you guys a question. Would you give anything to end your pain and be back with your love again, better than ever before? Would you give anything to have a new, healthy, and beautiful relationship with them? Tyler says, yes. Awesome. 100% yes, Molly. Awesome. Of course you would. That's why you're here. So we have spent thousands of hours working with couples, and we've distilled our most powerful methods into these 4 simple steps into this coaching program and plan that will help flip that switch deep inside your spouse and trigger the most unstoppable desire, have them begging to be back with you. And not just for a few weeks or for a few nights or for a few months, but for life. That is the level that we are talking about. So here is just some of what you're going to learn, okay? First, you'll get the easy to follow plan to increase communication with your spouse, even if you're only talking over text right now. So you have the opportunity to rekindle that spark. We'll give you copy and paste scripts that you can customize, of course, for text and in-person conversations, starters that you can use right away. That will get them to realize that they made a huge mistake and they need you back more than they need to breathe. All right. This is a 27 video series with exercises and action assignments that are reviewed by your coach to give you feedback. And this plan alone is worth $4,200. Second, you'll learn how to have your spouse sell themselves on having a long-term relationship with you, simply by not giving them anything to rebel against. And you'll be kicking yourself for not having done this sooner. It's so easy. You're going to be amazed when you realize, like that client testimonial said, I'm actually doing less and it's working more, right? 3, I'll show you how to transform yourself into a high value mindset so you can avoid the innocent seeming mistakes that push them away or into the arms of someone else. 4, you'll discover how to make a change that will make you deliriously happy and make them realize they want to make you a top priority in their life now and for the rest of their life. 5, how to wipe the slate clean by working with us in our one-on-one coaching. This is where we get to work with you one-on-one and completely change their perception about you, no matter how long they've held those beliefs about you or how many mistakes you've made, so you can both forget about the past and see each other with fresh eyes. Our one-on-one coaching is worth $4,800 alone. 6, this one isn't really important, all right? This is where we flip the script and have them feel like they are the one winning you back, not the other way around. Again, it's so easy, but most people do not know this, and most people are not taught this. And again, it's so easy, it's almost unfair. I'm going to give it to you guys today as a bonus worth over $588. I'm going to add a warning here though. You cannot afford to get this one wrong. And that is why we will coach you on exactly how to do it right. 7, we'll show you how to gently guide them past their fears and their old blocks about you and the marriage, so their desire to be with you and their desire to have a happy marriage causes I'm so sorry. It just dropped Zoom for me. So my apologies. Hope you guys heard that last bit there. All right. So how to let go of those old fears and worries about you. And we do this in our daily group coaching. Daily group coaching happens every day of the week. Yes, you heard me right. Every single day of the week, we have a daily group coaching session that goes on, and you get to learn from others like Leah or Michael or Tom that I shared with you here that have already gone through this process. And you will know it will work for you too. They will say, oh my goodness, I was where you are just a few months ago. And now look where we are now. Trust the process. Keep going. Hit the pause button. Help them take some steps towards you. Stop pushing them unintentionally away. You can do it. And just like I did. So we typically charge $1,800 for group coaching, but we'll give it to you guys today as a bonus when you join the Path Coaching Program today. And 8, the best part is the techniques that we show you and we teach you, show you how to keep the spark alive forever for life. So you too can spend the rest of your lives together, delirious in happiness. And that is worth over $3,000 for our virtual summits that we do after your spouse is already fully committed to you again. They're wanting to be with you again. They're chasing after you. And we make sure that we continue to support you in the journey of having a healthy relationship for life. If you guys remember, I said that 92% of couples say that they're unhappy in their marriage. So they're either A, divorced, or B, unhappy, which means only 8% of couples are actually happy in their marriage. To me, that's a tragedy. To me, that is unacceptable. And we are here to help create a shift in our society and in your life so that a happy marriage and a happy family is the norm. We believe that when we change marriages and we change families, we change society. And the happier and more functional and healthy relationships are in your life, the healthier and more functional society will be in general. Agreed? It has a ripple effect, right? So total value there, $11,388. That is not what you're gonna pay today. Our special offer for those attending the masterclass for the next 24 hours only is $4,800 for our gold coaching program. The bad news is we only have a few spots open right now. I believe it's 4. I think we just signed up someone last night, so we might be down to 3. Coach Curtis can let me know. And we have several hundred people, if not a couple thousand. We actually are sending this email out with the replay tomorrow to over 60,000 people. So they're going to see the masterclass as well this week. So my friends, if this speaks to you, I encourage you to join right away and do not waste another moment in pain and confusion. I'm going to put the link right here into the chat where you can join right away. Awesome. Yeah, I'm getting tongue-tied. Yes, we'll answer all questions about that. So we will guide you by the hand to have the happy marriage and the love that your heart is craving. So click the link right now and you can join right now and get one of these last few spots and all of the bonuses that I mentioned earlier, only for you guys for the next 24 hours. What can you expect with this? Well, this is what's typical, okay? Within the next week, you join today, within the next week, you will already have your spouse hitting the pause button. They will no longer be talking about divorce. They will no longer be talking about separation. They will no longer be moving closer to their affair partner or further away from you. We're going to have them hit that pause button and consider the possibility of staying with you. Yeah, Curtis says the spots fill up fast, so do not hesitate. Awesome. All right, beautiful. You will know what's really going on between you. Remember, you cannot read the label when you're inside the bottle. So we will read the label of what is going on inside your marriage. We will diagnose exactly what it is. and prescribe the treatment plan that's going to get with you where you said you want to be. Most important thing is you decide where you want to go. When you say, I deserve a happy marriage, I deserve a healthy and beautiful functional relationship, this is what I want, this is where I'm going, then the way always makes itself manifest. It will make itself manifest for you when you hold true to where you really want to go. Within just a few short weeks from now, you will have guidance on exactly what to text them. We often get clients who are like, I just got this text message. What do I do? How do I respond to this? I'm not sure how to answer. So that you pattern interrupt, you get their attention so that they consider the possibility of being happy with you again and consider the possibility of working on things with you, how to have hard conversations and how to have them want to spend time with you and want to be with you again. We're going to flip that emotional switch and trigger their desire for you. Because if you're missing their desire right now, you're never going to make them drink. So we've got to get that desire switched for you again, for them again. And we will show you how to do that in the coaching. So I want you to imagine how good it will feel to have them running back to you, to have them chasing after you, to feel like they are winning you back, wrapping their arms around you. Of course you would want that, right? Do you guys still have questions? Awesome. That's good. That means you're a normal human being and I like you. All right. So post your number if you still have questions in the chat right now. And Coach Curtis, we will call you right after the masterclass. Just remember though, we do fill up spots so fast. I think we had like 7 or 8 clients just join within the last few days. It's awesome. And I cannot wait to see you guys join and have your marriage turned around just as fast as humanly possible. So remember, you only have 24 hours to join. Once those 4 to 7 spots are filled, we will be closing doors on this offer. If you go to our website, you will not find this special price. Okay. It's only for you guys right here, right now. And you can only get it by talking to Coach Curtis or going to the link that I put over in the chat. I'll put it there again one more time. For those on Zoom watching the replay, it's High Thrive Live. So High, H-I-G-H, Thrive, T-H-R-I-V-E, coaching.com/join-gold. Goodness, that's a long URL. highthrivelifecoaching.com/join-gold. We'll put it in the email too. I will be nice. I'll put it in the email to make it easier for you guys. Awesome. So my friends, we covered a lot together today. And I know that now you know that now you are feeling confident you can win their heart back again. You can win her heart back. You can win his heart back because now you have the right method to get there. You're not alone and it's not your fault. So let me know in the chat, what have you learned? What stood out to you the most? Is it learning that if you follow your own biological instincts, you will make critical mistakes? You will be left to your own instinct, and that will push your spouse further away. When we try to do it ourselves, we're almost always destined to fail. That is why it's so crucial that we have someone read the label on our bottle, diagnose what's going on, and prescribe the right treatment plan. And all we have to do is follow it. Doing less is going to be more. Do less of what's not working and just a few things that are going to make a huge difference for you. Is it 2, knowing that there's one emotion that can send your spouse running back to you, and that is their desire. And once you flip that emotional switch to reactivate their desire for you, they will become desperate to get you back. 3, understand that our 4-step plan will hand you the exact steps to follow to get them back with you forever. Awesome. I'm seeing some answers here. 3 was definitely an insight for you. Awesome. I need to understand what keeps my spouse emotionally connected to me. Beautiful. I want my marriage to work after 2 failed marriages. Yeah, exactly. Or the same pattern's going to repeat itself, and you deserve it. You are worthy. You are good enough. Anything else is a lie. So let's step into the truth of who you really are. Empower yourself. Know that there is more hope than you can imagine. There is more possibility than you can imagine. It's simply learning to do what actually works. So since we agree on this, don't you think that you deserve to end your suffering? get you back on the path with the man or the woman that you love. I want my spouse to love me unconditionally. Beautiful. So just click the link right now. I'll post it again in the chat, ithrivelivecoaching.com/join-gold, or leave your number for Coach Curtis if you still have questions and you want the free marriage assessment to know if this is the right way for you. Again, I told you, when you decide where you want to go, the way always makes itself manifest. Those that take action are those that get results. Those that take action and do some new things in some new ways have some new beautiful things happen in their lives. And we all have the choice to do what we want. And I want you to think about, how do you want to look back at this time at the end of your life? Do you want to look back on it with the pain of regret that you didn't do everything that you could, that you let the same patterns repeat themselves? Maybe this relationship ends and you get into another relationship and the same thing happens again. Have you learned anything? Do you want to look back with the kind of regret that you didn't do what you could when you had the chance? The beautiful thing about life is it's always going to give us challenges. Why? To teach us, to allow us to learn, to allow us to grow, to become better if we choose to. We can also choose not to. And then the same painful things will continue to happen until we finally, right, get it. And we finally learn and we finally grow and we overcome that challenge. There's a difference between going through a challenge and overcoming it. Overcoming it means you've become bigger than it. It can no longer define you. So who do you really want to be? Do you want to look back with peace of mind that you know you gave your marriage everything, that you know you learned and you grew through these challenges, and now you actually know how to have a healthy relationship that maybe wasn't modeled to you as a kid, wasn't modeled to you by your friends and your peers and your coworkers? None of them have a relationship you'd want, right? Now you know how to be in the top 8% of couples that have a healthy relationship, that you can bring further security to the world, to your own children, to your own family. And the decisions that you make now will affect you the rest of your life. And not only you, they will have a ripple effect into the lives of others and affect generations to come. So the greatest pain that we can ever feel, more than rejection from our spouse, more than a broken marriage, more than a divorce, is the pain of regret. The beautiful thing is that you can choose to live your life with no regrets, to have peace of mind, knowing that you did everything that you could and it was all okay. That is the beautiful gift that you can give yourself. No one else can. So I encourage you to step into who you really are and what life is really calling you to. Why are you here and what are you meant to do? And we will help you along the way to get you to where you want to be. So again, encourage you guys to click the button. I think we have some people joining. Awesome. Super excited to see you guys in the program. Coach Curtis is reaching out to you, answering your questions over there. Awesome. So just click the button right now. And for the first time since you started this whole journey, you can take a deep breath and smile, knowing that your best days with this person that you love are just around the corner. I have seen it happen. I have been witness to thousands of marriages transform, and it is possible, and it is beautiful, and it is powerful. You are incredible and you inspire me, and I cannot wait to see your marriage thrive. You'll be back in their arms very soon. So super exciting for everyone who joined and for everyone who came today. I cannot wait to see your marriage thrive. Thank you for joining me today. My heart, my love, my appreciation flows out to you. Let's go make incredible things happen. Thank you guys for joining today. Last call, put your number over in the chat if you have any other questions for Coach Curtis, and we will reach out to you right after the masterclass. Thank you guys, and I cannot wait to see your marriage thrive.